But the most shocking thing about this is that this is a locked 120 frames per second gameplay. According to Digital Foundry, when you're playing this particular game at 120 Hz, you're getting a locked 120 FPS at 1440p resolution. Now, I'm playing the game both sides at 120 Hz, one at the 60 FPS mode, one at the 120 Hz mode, and this is with 4K resolution on the TV. And as you can see, when we put it down to 0.25 times, so it's a quarter of the speed of normal playback, it just looks so incredibly smooth. I can't really put into...
What's up with these fake tech experts with less than a month before next-gen consoles release are still trying to push this idea that the Xbox Series X won't be more powerful than the PS5 due to technical limitations that they're just flat out making up, or based off how old technology worked that isn't applicable with these new consoles. I mean, this level of denial, it's embarrassing, you know, because on one hand, it keeps saying things like power don't matter, it's all about the game. Then on the other hand, they just do everything they can to try to quote unquote disprove that the Xbox Series X isn't more powerful than the PS5. Well, why don't tech experts get the PS5 in their hands, huh? Why isn't Sony giving anyone a chance to look at the box, touch it? Just the only thing you've gotten so far has been controlled environments. Gameplay has been controlled. The videos with the Japanese guy blowing to the controller was controlled. The teardown was controlled. Nobody's really getting a real hand on this. I've been around it for a long time. Sony is the same company that put out info, and some of it was even false, about the capabilities of the PS2 when the Dreamcast was first released, because they knew it was more powerful spec-wise. You really think Sony's just holding back and hiding info less than a month before the console release? I mean, you should be worried about all the stuff Sony isn't telling you, or how they're giving you just the absolute bare minimum. How they'll say 4,000 games will work, boost mode, and all this nonsense for backwards compatibility, but haven't shown a single backwards compatible game. Xbox has shown you cross-gen / next-gen gameplay with Dirt 5 at 120 frames per second. They showed you how backwards compatible games are going to run better, both with both taking advantage of the velocity architecture and those that are just running off the base console. And yet I just keep seeing all this working overtime to discredit the Xbox Series X no matter what. And there's still more to show. You know, they got all these games in development, you know, your Fables and the Valves, and we haven't even seen that. But what we've seen so far, to me, has looked awesome. And that's another thing. Why are y'all hating on multiplats? They're gonna run on your given console as well, and yet you're hating on games like Yakuza and Dirt 5, which in the Yakuza case, that used to be in your list wars. And yeah, I keep seeing all this hate, especially for Dirt 5, which looks fine to me. We got a game running at 120 frames per second on console. You know, in gaming, more than exclusive matters, more than AAA games matter. And what we're getting is awesome, you know. And yet, just because your platform is weaker, you gotta tear down the whole gaming world just to make yourself feel better. It's embarrassing. The Xbox Series X is a better designed console. It has better features. It has features like quick resume that is exclusive to the platform. It's gonna have the best games. You know, like the Medium comes out December 3rd, less than a month after the console comes out. That looks brilliant. You got games like the Falconeer, which looks very unique and fun. And gaming is more than remasters and remakes and blowing to controllers and all that nonsense. Also, let me mention now how much y'all hate these PlayStation guys hate Digital Foundry. Now they hate their fucking guts. I mean, just look at this example I'm leaving in the video, man. He's questioning his integrity, all because they did gameplay footage for a multiplat. Like a multiplat, Dirt 5 pissed him off that much. This shit is ridiculous.